Alright. In the vein of staying productive, I thought I'd record another podcast episode after I just did the intros to the guest episodes there. But, yeah, I don't know. I want to talk about staying productive and like burnout and all that. And how I'm fucking tired. Man, pardon me for yawning, whatever, but I'm tired, man. I woke up at 6, what did we do? We went to bed around 9. I woke up around 3:30-ish. And then I napped on the couch from like 9 to 11 or some shit like that. I don't know. I got sleep, but it was all weird. And I was trying to stay productive the whole time, like work on music and shit, but then... Sorry. Oh. Trying to wake myself up here. This actually helps. If you gotta wake up super early or like right, your alarm's going off, you don't want to wake up. If you just hold your eyes open, let the light hit you, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm up, you know? I don't know, it works for me, but yeah, I don't know. When I found myself pushing to try to stay productive, that's usually when I need to relax, and not be as productive, but, always something I can do. There's a pretty easy way of, getting ideas off my dome, like expressing myself, also making content that helps relate back to my music in a way, because it's kind of an expansion on that, helps you guys, helps the viewer, other version of myself, I should say, like figure out who I am as a person, pardon me, maybe build intrigue towards the music and want to listen to that, who knows. It's all just life, and I can't make anybody do anything. They all have to want to do it for themselves, right? But what I'm gonna do for myself right now, because I want to, is rip up Keen Toke, mate. Because I just finished recording the intros to the guest podcast, and I held off the smoke until after. And I feel like hopefully... I have 6. I feel like hopefully it might shock me into waking up a bit. I'm gonna blow my nose quick too so I don't keep sniffling. I hate that shit. Oh yeah. Right into the microphone, mate. Oh yes. But yeah. Cheers. If you're not session, you best be blessing. Appreciate y'all watching. Like a half yawn. Half me, man. What the fuck? I wasn't this bad a second ago, but cheers. Didn't feel too bad. Oh. The first haul wasn't too bad, but that second one kind of hurt. Sorry. It's usually not that bad, but I've been smoking a decent amount lately, and since I was in Brantford, since a little vacation trip to see friends and family there, I was smoking a lot, drinking a decent amount, so I feel like this is my body kind of like catching up and recouping kind of thing. Because apparently when you sleep in a bed that's not yours, your brain, only half of it sleeps at a time. So even if you get your full 8 hours rest or more, maybe, like, you're still gonna be tired because you weren't fully asleep. you gotta be in that like ready to go mode just in case, because you don't know, even though you know. But yeah, no, interesting. What is it? Talking about like trying to stay productive and burnout though, like F6. I find myself pushing myself so hard because it's constantly like I'm constantly up against this wall of like, okay, I need to pay bills and I need to work and I need to make money, but like I'm trying to apply for stuff. I need to apply for more shit, but wasn't getting too many callbacks, kind of discouraged me. And then I know once I do start working, then I have to be back on a schedule. Bro, I hate schedules so much. Just like, I just want to live my life and choose what I want to do when I want to do it, not like, okay, I'm scheduled for 5 days a week or part-time, whatever it is, and then I have to be ready on those days. It makes me feel so exhausted. Like, it just absolutely fucking drains me. And I feel like because it's not natural, and people are just like convincing themselves that this is the way it should be or the way life is, it's like, nah, man, they're fucking brainwashing us into thinking that this is how it should be, and that like we need to be working till we're dead or whatever till we can retire. And it's like, yeah, so you're gonna work all the good years of your life away just to get to the end when you can finally relax, just to have money, and then you're sitting there with no energy and like you can't get up and go places. Like, so dumb, man. Not to mention the amount of people that hurt themselves working, that then carry that injury with them for the rest of their lives and can't get it like properly treated, and then because of work the rest of their life is shit. It's like, man, I haven't had something like that happen to me, but like it could. I almost fucking crushed my foot at Loblaws with one of the fucking skid steers. That was shit. It was swollen for a good few days, but fuck, imagine if I did fully crush it. Like, bro, I might not be able to walk on that fucking foot. Like, I might have crushed all the fucking bones in it. Like, it was steel toe, but how my foot was, I was standing with my feet at like 90-degree angles, so they were like that, and the skid steer came into the side. I was wearing steel toes, but like the steel is over your toes, not the side of your foot and your ankle. So yeah, that sucked. Squish it between a skid and the thing. So yeah, not fun. But I survived. What doesn't kill you, I guess. But fuck, sometimes it just cripples you to the point where you're not stronger. You're just fucking, you're fucked up, man. And a lot of companies don't even have like insurance or compensation for it. It's such a piss off. But that just motivates me more to want to work hard to try to achieve this shit. Like, I'm nonstop trying to record stuff, trying to make music, whatever it is, but it's a fucking grind, man. I keep putting the work in, and I'm not like necessarily seeing the results. I'm not just doing it for the results, but it's like I've been doing this like 6 years now, going on with 24, and I started in 19. Yeah, half a decade, maybe a little longer. Like, I think I started properly writing music in like 2019, but I was starting in 2019. So yeah, half a decade. I've been putting the fucking work in. I'm not making that much. I'm not making enough to pay my rent yet. It comes with time, obviously, and you gotta put the time in, doing the part-time jobs, making enough money to pay the bills, whatever the case. But fuck, I don't want it to just kill me and take all my time to the point where I can't do what I truly love and care about, which is art. Not even necessarily like, I guess you could say making content, but it's not even about like content. I don't really care about like the social media posts and all that. Sure, I use social media to connect with people, but I care the most about like the songs, my paintings, like drawings, whatever it is, like the actual art, trying to convey emotion and somehow give back to the world. That's not just like mindless brain dead content, or even informational content. It's good, we're getting more information, but now it's getting to the point where people are just using other people's videos for content. I found that that's kind of what I was doing on TikTok. Obviously I wanted to share the ideas that were talked about on the podcast, whatever, and I was chopping up small sections of long podcasts and using that, but it's not necessarily my content. So it's like, if we're not making original shit, or we're not conveying original ideas, like, you better do it better than the original content you saw, or you're just like taking the idea and you're not even adding anything to it. It's like, I don't know, it's like artists that just steal shit instead of artists that take inspiration from shit, because there's a big difference, right? There's a huge difference between just taking something in its entirety and like reposting it or making it seem like it's your own, or not giving credit, whatever the case, and making something original that's genuine, that's something you, like, came out of your brain, might be inspired by something else, but it's not like, I don't know, it's like, who knows? I don't know if somebody's making content but then somebody steals it and advertises it better and it gets more traction. It's like, who did it better, you know? I don't know. I find like most people that say they're like fans of something or content, whatever the case, it's like they're not necessarily fans of it to the point where they want to know who's making the thing. They just want to consume it, right? It's like, it's almost like it's basically like drugs, right? Like, how often do you hear stories of people getting drugs and they're like, yeah, I got it from this dealer, but after that, I don't know who made it, I don't know where it came from, whatever the fact, you can test it, but nah, I don't know, it's just people don't care, they just want to consume. Same with fast food, same with grocery store shit, same with everything, man. Like, ugh, it's sad. It's sad that people don't want to, like, care. They don't give a shit enough to really, like, look into it, make stuff themselves, make stuff for themselves, you know what I mean? Whether it's food, art, content, like, think about if everybody was making content because they enjoyed the making of the content instead of, like, just sitting around watching it all the time. How different would the world be? Like, you know what I mean? If everybody was being creative and, like, doing something, not even making content though, but like, I don't know, I think one of the tropes about content creators is like, oh, we can just record whatever and put it up. To a certain extent, that's what this is, but it's like, you kind of want to have a life worth living to record, or like something worth talking about. I feel like I have enough ideas that I don't put into my music that I want people to hear, like, my perspective on stuff. I feel like it is worth talking about. Everybody's point of view is worth hearing, listening to. You gotta respect it. It might not be the most educated, but that's why you have the conversation, to help educate people, right? But it's like, Matt and I seen on Snapchat, it was trying to promote somebody else's public profile, whatever, and they were promoting their YouTube channel, but they were doing like world's most disgusting smoothie, and they were all like drinking it and then like throwing it up, or like the one guy was splashing it on the other guy. I guess at the end they were like dumping it on each other. It's like, really? That's the type of content you want to be making and putting out to the world? Like, you're not trying to, I don't know, it's like, how long did it take you to come up with the idea? 5 minutes? Okay, it's gonna take 5 seconds to dissect it and like comprehend it. That's why good art, it almost never gets fully dissected or like fully understood, because it can go so deep. If it's really good art, there's gonna be so many levels to it, like, you might not ever be able to figure out all the levels that the artist was intending to put into it. You know what I mean? That could go for songs, movies, TV shows, whatever the case, you know, paintings even, like, oh. But no, we're at the point in life where people are making fucking prank videos on YouTube. I know it's been a good few years of that, like, it's been a trend for a while, but it's like, come on guys, we can't do something a bit more creative, a bit better? Like, I would rather like to watch somebody's life vlog than them like trying to come up like make ideas for content. They're just trying to pull it out of their ass and come up with bullshit. They're just trying to blow smoke basically, and it's like, well, okay, try and do something interesting. I guess it is interesting. Like, sure, people might laugh, find it funny, but I don't know. To me, I just find that gross. And I don't want to, like, I'm very particular on where I spend my time because that's what really all we have in life. Time is money, time is everything. Like, if you're wasting your time watching that, making that, it's like, I don't think you're really using it to the best of your ability. But if it's a point of like, no, we're just fucking around as friends, we're just coming up with bullshit to do, it's like, okay, you gotta start somewhere. Yes, I respect that. I just, I don't know. It's always a thing in my mind of like, okay, well, don't judge the book by its cover. Like, who knows? Maybe in one or two posts, whether it's music or YouTube or whatever it is, they're gonna have a banger video where it's like, oh, that's actually a great idea. That's great content. But it came from this initial idea that maybe wasn't the best, you know? So it's like, fair enough. I don't want to just shit all over somebody else's creation if that's truly what they're passionate about. It's like, hey, fair enough. Like, Jackass got big, you know? That's not necessarily my cup of tea. I would, like, instead of watching the initial Jackass movies, I would rather watch, like, Steve-O's Wild Ride. I think that's his podcast, where he talks to people in that van setup they have. But, yeah, I'd much rather hear the stories of, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff, hear the person's perspective on stuff, rather than just seeing them do dumb shit. You know what I mean? That's me personally. I had a good, like, few years when I was growing up where America's Funniest Home Videos was hilarious, and then I got to a point where I'm like, oh, some of these people are just getting hurt. Like, that's not that funny. And then you start looking at more and more, and it's like, is it really that funny? Like, some of them are genuinely still funny, absolutely, but nah, you know, everybody to each their own, right? A perfect example now is I got into the show Kill Tony. It's a comedy podcast where the comedian Tony Hitchcliffe brings other either well-known comedians on as guests, or he brings up first-time or young comedians, young in their career, whatever, comedians to the stage to practice their stand-up. They get a minute uninterrupted to do their set, and if they do good, they get more opportunities from that, right? And I think that's such a great idea and concept for a show. It's so unique and creative. But sometimes they do low blow jokes, they go for the racist stuff, they do sexist stuff, or like, my girlfriend Julia doesn't like it because one of the comments that Tony, the host, made was talking about some chick's boobs. Usually if there's a chick comedian that comes up, they'll do a low blow joke about the breasts or whatever, but it's like, I don't know, you can look past it, or you can really emphasize that and go, oh, I don't want to hear that, this guy's yada yada yada, so I don't want to listen to what he has to say, whatever. That's not necessarily how it went, but I feel like that's how a lot of people think, right? And it's like, well, how are you not even going to give him the time to listen to him? And, well, like, everybody calls Tony, the host, gay, even though he's not. So it's like, if everybody's hitting him with these low blow jokes, like, what's stopping him from doing it back? Maybe if there was a more intelligent comedian, not intelligent, but their jokes were more intellectual, and the fact that they didn't have to use low blow jokes, they could make, you know, a bit smarter, deep cut style jokes. It's like, oh shit, that maybe that would help him think more, you know. He like, they all make great jokes once in a while. It's like, or no, they all make great jokes, they're all funny, but it's once in a while they have the ones that don't, that bomb, that don't do as well, and it's like, okay, you gotta roll with the punches and keep it going, right? That's part of it, you know? That's like, even podcasting, maybe you get to a point where neither of you really know what to say. You gotta find some way to kind of pivot. Sorry for hitting the desk. You gotta find some way to pivot the topics, or like, keep it moving in a way that makes it coherent and consistent, right? Sorry, I keep hitting the table. Like, even this, I feel like I've kind of been rambling for around 20 minutes now, but minus the toke, right? Pardon me, excuse me. But it's all, I'm trying to stay consistent. I'm trying to stay in a train of thought, right? Sometimes I do kind of go all over the place depending on, what's on my mind, what I'm thinking about, the time of day, the type of day, everything affects it. But again, I'm just shooting the shit. I'm just having fun, doing my thing, you know. What is it? It's almost, well, the time doesn't matter. I got a little bit of time before Jewel gets back from work, and then we're going to start making dinner. We got an idea for dinner. We got plans for it. Nice. I got a bunch of notifications, but yeah, I don't know. Life's good. I gotta remember to relax and take a break once in a while, cause see, and that's another thing. Seeing all this content, and then I'm judging all this content based on my criteria, my standards, whatever. It's all my opinion, but I think it also is amplified by the fact that I am a content creator. I'm an artist and a content creator, whatever. But I'm pretty hard on myself when it comes to what I make and the quality, the type of content I make. I'm not even going to say the quality, because I have had a few songs and a few projects where I put them up and I'm like, it's not really the best, but that's just like, it's part of the trip, it's part of the ride, right? Like, you just gotta keep it going and see what happens, because maybe that leads to something better, right? There's no point stopping yourself early before you've even done the thing, saying like, oh no, it's not gonna work, it's gonna be this or that, or it's gonna be hard. It's like, just try it. Maybe it's easier than you thought, and maybe the result that you get at the end is even better than you expected. Maybe it's not, maybe it is, who knows, it's like, I don't know. I heard the phrase invest in yourself, and I thought that is the best advice anyone can ever give, almost, because depending on the situation, right? Because what is it? Time is money. But if you're investing in yourself and taking the money that you get and investing it into your craft and what you love, you're never going to go wrong, because you love doing that thing. And if you're investing in yourself, an investment is something that's supposed to like pay you back over time, or like you get to a certain point in time where you can get that money back, and it should be more, hopefully, if it's a good investment, right? So if you're investing in yourself, technically you could invest in yourself infinitely. You might not see the results until, pretty far in the future, but it should always pay off no matter what. If you're really determined enough, if you're like dedicated to getting better at whatever it is, you will see the results. It just takes time, right? Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people start stuff, do a little bit with it, and then drop it, and they're already doing more numbers than I am, than I'm doing right now, trying to be consistent with it. So it's like, bro, I don't know why. Obviously, these people, their lives are getting in the way and other stuff comes up, so they can't continue with it, but, like, man, I don't know. Some people could just, I feel like they got natural raw talent in something, and they just don't have the chance or the time or the ability to make it work. Sorry, I'm massaging my fucking pec muscle because I was doing push-ups, but they don't have the time or the chance to make it work. Like my dad especially, but my parents both love cooking, and my dad always jokes about, oh, we'll get a food truck when I'm retired, or we'll get a food truck in the future, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, do it. Like, try to be a chef and kind of like do your own thing. But he has a mindset of like, oh, all the reasons why it won't work or why it'll be hard. It's like, if you're really passionate about it, just do it. Like, he's got a government job, so it's like, okay, sure, that's good money, benefits, whatever, but like, once you're retired, what's stopping you? Like, I don't know. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to wait until you retire to be able to do what you want to with your life. Realistically, I feel like everybody should, be able to do what they want in life. But, some people just have to do the nitty-gritty jobs and do the shit that nobody else wants to do. I just feel like Personally, for myself, when I think about myself and my abilities, I feel like really don't have enough skills to do a lot of shit. I'm dedicated to learning, but the schedules and just the stress that I put on myself really doesn't help. And I feel like I do have enough ability in art, in music, and whatever it is, just in my like my ability to critique and kind of give constructive criticism. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to put that to waste because I've been investing. It's like your skill tree. If you're a character in a video game and you're putting a bunch of points into a certain type of stat or weapon, whatever, and then all of a sudden you get late game or like halfway through the game, and then you're switching up what you're using, and now you gotta keep dumping. Now you gotta dump all the new points you get into this other stat, and it's weak and it's not working as well. It's like, I don't know, you can always pivot, but then you're not going to be as good as that thing you were initially putting all your time and energy into, right? Like, since I was a kid, I always liked drawing, I always liked making art. So it's like, if I'm putting all that time and energy into it since I was a fucking child, since I was a kid, why would I not try to keep that going? I have all these skill points invested in it already. Like, I don't know, I didn't really get help. I don't know. Everybody's life is unique, and everybody chooses what they want to do. It's like some people, maybe they want to do physical labor, maybe they want to do something, but then maybe the type of physical labor, maybe they're in a factory, but they'd really like to be doing landscaping or have their own company that does like private jobs or whatever the fuck, like on contract, whatever. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know. I feel like everybody should more try to go for what they're passionate about and do what they love, and maybe a lot of us will be happier or better off in life if it is like, you know, sorry, I'm still massaging my pec, if we were doing what we love and what we care about, you know. It's hard to say. Some food for thought for sure. You know, 27 minutes, I think that's a good place to cap this one here, and I'll go do some stretches for my arms. Trying to get swole, trying to get jacked. But, you know, that shit takes time too. Right? But yeah. I'll leave it here for now. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Shootin Gallery. I love you. Stay safe. Good luck. Ease. My mouse.